Oh, my fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. Yeah, so... Alright, let's talk. Because, well, I mean, I didn't talk after the Spurs game. And no, it was not because I was fading talking about it. I actually really wanted to talk about it, but didn't get a chance to. And it's because I went to my boy's 21st birthday. But yeah, holy shit, my hair is all fucked up. I got a horrible cut. As y'all can see, huge updates here with the draft extension. Fuck, my voice is really bad right now. We're gonna be getting in one of these. I'm really scared that this one is gonna fill up. It went up 1% in like an hour. So I'm trying to get in basically and finish up drafting here. I do think that in these small entry tournaments, especially these $2 tournaments, it is pretty integral that you know, get through with your drafting. But that's what we're gonna do here today. Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about the Spurs, but let's talk a little bit more about this tournament. So this is a $2 entry where you can win 10,000 at first, 5,000 at second, and it keeps going. The way you can get into those areas, you go through the weeks 1 through 14, where in those weeks you are going to try to beat 4 other teams. So really, just being in top 4 team, which is not difficult at all. After that, you got to go and beat you got to be the top out of 5 people, and then again top out of 5 people. And in the final week 17, you're gonna need to beat out 376 people. If we see where the money is at, if you make the final round, you will make $14. So basically, if one of your teams makes the final round here, you're guaranteed profit. So that is the way that this one works here. If your team does well, even more profit. But each team that you can get to even make it to the week 16 games, which is, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's definitely easier than the other ones. You're gonna get some money, and each team that even cracks is gonna make some money. So we're gonna get in one of these real quick. As y'all can see, I added the suggestions. I'm not a big fan of it yet. I think it is not fully taking into account everything. And why? Huh. I could have sworn I took Gibbs in a draft earlier. I'm gonna have to check that, because if I'm not having my extension working in the way that I thought it was, that would be pretty bad. Let's see. Yes, I will talk about the Spurs game. Give me a minute. Okay. They're still waiting on people in these drafts, and yeah, this is a super late night. I don't. It was a draft where I wanted to get Gibbs, but the person at first took Jamar Chase. I ended up going Bijan. Yeah, that is pretty interesting. I will have Gibbs exposure in this draft over here, which is a slow draft. It is a puppy slow draft. Yeah, just the reason why I'm doing a slow draft for a $5 draft is honestly, if I'm being honest, if I'm being honest here, it's to work on this extension. But yeah, it's been pretty awesome so far working with this extension. Other than the suggestion feature, this has been pretty much filled out. There are players I have been removing and adding to my rankings, like on and off. I will continue to do that. There are people who I just deem undraftable, but again, everyone can always update their own rankings. What you will see here is I finally took CMC in a draft. Being a Niner fan, let's fucking go. Being a fan, or not being a Niner fan, being a somewhat of a ball knower, yeah, I don't feel that good about it, but yeah, I think there's a way to see all your teams, right? Yeah, if you go in here to the Frenchie 5, I think it is this team. There it is. But we take Saquon and CMC in the first 2 rounds. I'm not the biggest fan of this team, but I did want to find some exposures, and I'm doing it kind of all in the same draft, which is nice. But yeah, again, I'm not a big fan on Barkley this season. I just think that he's not going to be that good. And yeah. My boys just went to the casino, and that's always an interesting experience. Wow, we get 11th. Let me just pull that back up, because I think in the Frenchie 5 we have been getting horrible luck here. Where I got pick 10 and pick 10 again, right? Yeah, 2 pick 10s. And now I'm getting 11. Yeah. I really do think you want to be picking within the top 5 because you get the options with these names. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal, I guess. But yeah, I'm finally, these little drafts are the things I love. Gives me the opportunity to do some good stuff here. There's a 0% chance that Gibbs makes it back to me. And the fact that I have 0% Gibbs right now just is telling of my luck, but yeah, I guess I can get a little bit into that Spurs game. So for most of this game, I mean, I think the Spurs start off really strong, and don't get me wrong, like starting off strong is always important. But we have consistently started off strong, and it's like maybe when Wemby goes to the bench or something else, like we just do not look the same right after, and it kills me to see us blow 14-point leads here and there. Like it's just so annoying, and yeah. The Knicks for most of this game felt like they did not miss when their bench crew was running out there. Because Cat picked up that like late foul, which I will say the Spurs got away with some favorable ones in this one, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty crazy that the Spurs didn't win this one, and obviously what's going to be talked about is that Wemby play at the end. Real quick, we're about to be on the clock. I will take Jonathan Taylor if he is available. Draft extension says him too. James Cook goes here at 7, which is interesting, but definitely lead to something diverse. Genty goes. Alright, so I already have CD Lamb in one of these, so I'm going to take Justin Jefferson. But, yeah, I would love... If CD Lamb makes it back to me, I'm going to take CD Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and I think that's a pretty unique combination here. That... Yeah. So he doesn't make it back. That's fine. The reason I take Jefferson over Lamb there, by the way, is my exposures. I'm super invested in CD. Again, super invested here in Achan, but Achan is going to be the highest ranked name for me. But let's go ahead and take O'Marion Hampton. This is a common team that you're going to see. I do think that O'Marion Hampton is going to be a very good pick this season, and I would love to see that. Anyway, going back to that Spurs game. I honestly don't even know what to say at this point. You've obviously, if you watch basketball at all, or if you follow any basketball heads, the series is over. Like, statistically, it's happened twice before where the team that has home court advantage loses the first 2 games. And in both cases, one was a sweep and the other was... Yeah, I don't know what the other was, but it was not a win. And I mean, I'm a stats major. 2 samples is nothing. 0% means nothing in this case. What I will say, though, regardless, coming back from down 0-2 was very difficult. I think Curry did it against the Celtics. I think that the one that's obviously being talked about is Mikal Bridges blowing the 2-0 lead when he was in Phoenix against Giannis. But Giannis was really just on another level. And I don't think that Wemby is on that level, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of memes out there, but at this point I feel like a lot of it is kind of genuinely true. In the fact that, Wemby left it all on the court for that series against OKC. Don't get me wrong, but there's very clearly a different Wemby playing right now. And that kind of just is annoying to see. We're going to try to get another start here. That's a little bit more unique. So, why don't we do... Let's look up Jefferson with... well, obviously I don't have any T. If I get T, I will take him. But yeah. It's because I am not a big T Higgins lover, but it's not the worst in the world to take T Higgins at this point. I still do like that Zay Flower price. Again, I don't think he's that good, but I think that Lamar Jackson is good, so that's all that matters. If Kyron falls, I'll take Kyron, because I am looking to be a little bit more invested in Kyron, considering the amount of leads that LA Rams offense is going to have. Again, it's one of the reasons why I'm fading Christian McCaffrey 2 weeks out of the 17. He plays the Rams. He plays that Myles Garrett defense. But we'll see where he goes here. He goes Tet. I'm going to go Kyron. and really hope that we can get a bring back here with T. Higgins. As you can see, the draft assistant thinks that there's a 30% chance it could happen, so 1 in 3, basically. Not the worst odds. I flipped on worse. But yeah. I don't like how. Okay. So they say Garrett Wilson here because I definitely have Garrett Wilson higher ranked than Zay Flowers. I do need to lower my Bucky Irving ranking. But yeah. Overall, I don't think stats really mean anything in this game. I love the run that we go on in this one. And the bye conflict just makes me not want to use Josh Jacobs here. So I will take Garrett Wilson. We will start off 2-2. In these kind of situations, I'm willing to take the tight end quarterback that will show up here. The thing is about this, ADP about like 19, ADP, quarterback 19, quarterback 9, quarterback like 20, and quarterback 27. So what may end up happening is our next pick may coincide with our quarterback. Because I just reached for Caleb in a draft, and I don't want to do the Luther Burden option here. I could just wait out on quarterback in this one. But yeah. We see Josh Jacobs fall in this one even more. Obviously, he's been falling recently. And by the way, these ADP trends, they are recent trends to ADP, so they're not over complete time, but I think that's more important because over complete time, you're going to notice these trends in ADP anyway. So, taking a look at more information, but yeah. Statistically, this game was kind of even. I think the big thing here is that Steph Castle, you lose him in the entire second quarter, and it was brutal. He's young. He comes out there with so much intensity that, yes, he's going to foul. And Mitch is okay with it. It's a Mitch Johnson, but in my opinion, I do not like that is the case. Obviously, he's a second-year player, but what can you do? Odds have finally changed to reflect the Knicks as the winners of the series. The Knicks are probably going to win the next 2 games. It's Knicks in 4 is the most likely outcome right now, which sucks. But again, I'm trying to be optimistic about this. Not every team makes the NBA Finals, and like, I'm very happy with how this team turned out this year, so I'm not going to be like one of those sticklers about how everything goes. Damn, Mike Evans is not on the board. I am not a big fan of Mike Evans' price, if I'm going to be honest here. I would like Mike Evans to be going, somewhere in between Jalen Waddle and Jameson Williams. But again, it's because he's older. Believe or don't believe in the substation, there is clearly something that is statistically different about the way that maybe the Niners practice that shows issues. I'm also not a big fan of Christian Watson Price, and thank God he is gone. I will take Carnell Tate here. Yeah, because again, bye conflicts, which in turn don't mean too much. Obviously, every player has a bye, and these points will add up, but we could go double rookie receiver here, but I will take, yeah, we're going to take Brian Thomas Jr. here. Why did I think his last name was, why did I think he had a junior in his name? I don't know. But yeah, overall, trying to be optimistic about the Spurs. They beat out my expectations. This is a good year. We see the game bring back from De'Aaron Fox, which I loved. He was not bad at all in this one, so. But yeah, I don't really know what the future of how this team is constructed is gonna go. And what we could do real quick is let me just do this so I can see. I'll go back when it's like 3 picks, but we're gonna take a look. Salaries. So the issue becomes because now we have to pay Wemby, and we already paid him, right? Like, he's gotten this extension, and it's not updated here. But in these gap years over here, we have a Wemby extension. Yeah. So, oh, whoops! I did not know I did that. We don't pay anything for Harrison Ingram, which is an amazing feeling. I think that Harrison Ingram is going to be an interesting player in this league. Yeah, we're gonna go back to the draft real quick, but let's talk more about this because I am very interested in looking at these payrolls. As you can see, our stack highlights here with Justin Herbert. I would love Justin Herbert, but I have a feeling that Justin Herbert's gonna go off. On Marion Hampton, this is something that we can take a look at as well. How big of a pass catching back he is. I may reach and take Quentin Johnson here. Who, even though he has the Week 7 bye conflict with Brian Thomas Jr., I don't think that's a huge issue that sways me away from him. So we'll see what SC Pier 01 does here, but yeah, I've been getting sniped a lot recently. We are just gonna take Cortland Sutton here, who I believe should be my highest ranked. No, Jordan Addison. I will take Sutton because the bye conflict thing. And we can take some Trevor Lawrence stock, I guess. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is our highest ranked receiver. I do like Jordan Addison. I'm kind of surprised that I have him over. So Quentin Johnson actually went at 81. So I'm not too upset then, but this will be a 3-quarterback team. We get Trevor Lawrence in this one. But yeah, let's go back here, take a look. Mason Plumlee is not going to be on the team next year. He's probably going to retire. Bismack Biyombo. We'll see if he stays on the team. I'm not too sure he will, but yeah, Lindy Waters, I think, is actually, like, again, these are like bottom tier rotational players. Jordan McLaughlin, I actually think, may stay on the team because of his depth, that he has proved that he can handle the ball. Obviously, we do have Carter Bryant for that, but in the meantime, while Carter Bryant still develops, in the case of injury, Jordan McLaughlin has played well. Again, his only issue is his height. If he was taller, he would be elite. But, you know. I do like how we have a fading salary for Luke Cornett here. Obviously, Luke Cornett has his moments, including that huge playoff block that we had against OKC. I will say, we can do that with a lot of centers. And it's nice to have another 7-footer on the roster, but yeah, that is not something that I'm looking forward to keeping around. And what may be better is getting a larger rotation at center. Well, for instance, we have these two at center right here. And we should have. No, never mind. But we have these two at center right here. And I would just significantly prefer if we just get two decent backup centers, and spend a little money there. Because we do have. If this is the salary cap, then we are over it. Wow. We are over the salary cap because of De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is going to make $60 million. Wow. I knew that De'Aaron Fox was expensive. I didn't know he was $61 million in 2030. Because what is the Steph Curry contract even like? 62. In a year where he will be 39. I mean, the idea here, I guess, is that this dude is still in his prime. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And after that, he's not going to be worth, like, jack shit, basically. But, man. Yeah, I mean, for how much he's invested into, just, I mean, we're sitting here doing a fantasy football draft. Pricing wise, I hate that. That's a horrible price. I don't want my stacks to only be with my running backs, so I might take Kyler on the way back. I will try to take Kenneth Gainwell here just because I'm down here badly. I really do like Rashad White. I don't understand why his ADP dropped him down here, but Pittman is my best player here, and if Pittman is on the board, I think I'll take Kenneth Gainwell here. I'm not a big fan of Jonathan Brooks. I'm just not a big fan of someone who got injured that badly, and we need to see play football again. This is nothing against Jonathan Brooks. I'm actually very much hoping that he has a great season, but yeah. Oh, if we don't see Stafford go off here, I don't think I can justify not taking Stafford. I can. I actually very much can. Wow, we lose Kyler. Are we serious? I'm gonna go Jonathan Brooks here. Because I really just don't like the idea of going Stafford. And we're gonna take Cam Ward. And we'll try to take maybe like CJ Stroud, and later down the line we'll take Tank Dell. But man, that is annoying. Looking at the draft assistant, let's see. Yeah, so we think that we're good here at running back. QB, obviously tight end. But again, never worried about tight end. So I'll go tight end QB in this range. We can look at tight end pairings as well. Stafford is falling pretty hard here. Goes at 113, and Stafford's ADP is 103. Falls 10 picks. Man, I'm not happy. Because, like, here's my thing. If we think about it in the way that we are looking at these fantasy picks the same way, this is like drafting James Cook up here at 7, and he gives you the output of, I'm going to say honestly, RJ Harvey. Because RJ Harvey in these games, you're gonna get some like good games from RJ Harvey here and there, but realistically, he's a secondary running back in a pretty good offense. So yeah, very talented player, but he's just not gonna get the same kind of reps, and he's not gonna get the same kind of output for you. That's how I feel about De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has moved offensively as from our second option to like at this point maybe third, fourth. I do want to take a look at, because I think game 1 he was the third option. This game 2, what was he looking like? He took the same amount of shots as Dylan Harper, and honestly, and Dylan Harper played significantly better, so I don't know. I might have to put him as a fourth option in this offense, where the big three of Dylan Harper, Wemby, and Steph Castle, obviously not in that order, are up there, but yeah. We don't really have any big options here. We can take... We can take Tyrone Tracy, but we are good at running back, so... I guess if Travis makes it back here, which at this point we have no idea, but this is basically a 50-50 shot, but we take... Let's take Trav here. Again, Kelsey I think has been a little underrated in fantasy, because the thing is, especially with Rashee Rice, you never know what that motherfucker's gonna do, especially considering his new injury status, like, and the jail thing. Like, at the end of the day, Travis Kelsey is at number 2 in that offense. If there was a team that should have been signing OBJ, it should have been the Chiefs. If I'm gonna be quite frank, this guy's 2 QBs. I doubt he takes Cam Ward here, so we're gonna be good taking Cam Ward and moving to the next round. Awesome. So we get Cam Ward. I'm not hating on this team at all, actually. This is... Oh my god, I love that picture for Trevor Lawrence. But I'm not hating on this at all. We can go Bryce Young here and stack him with who? Jonathan Brooks. Not a real stack in my opinion. Yeah, Coker is not coming back to us. The reason why you see Coker at 20... Okay, well, he's gone. But the reason why you see him at 1 and 4 instead of, you know, the insane amount is this is the range where you will see the most amount of drops. So again, kind of makes sense. Let's see who's at the top of rankings here. Omar Cooper is who we have here. I'm also pretty big on Shaheed. I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm pretty big on Shaheed. We'll see if we take him in this one. I highly doubt it. But yeah. The Jaguars, we got Brenton Strange that we could look out for here. He's gonna go though, isn't he? He's not. Oh, he's right here. So Brenton Strange, we have a 2 in 3 chance of getting him. I feel good about that. The issue with the Chargers offense is like with Gadsden, which we're not getting Gadsden, but yeah. We could get Gunnar Helm later on too. I don't mind stacking QBs with tight ends because I think tight ends are the most productive when they're getting their touchdowns. And because of that, it's pretty likely that if your QB is going to pop off in a week with a passing touchdown, your tight end is going to pop off in that same week. Especially I mean, just looking at football, in short down yardage, that is why if it was not touch push range, you saw Dallas Goedert touchdown last year. Um, and I'm not saying that Dallas Goedert is gonna do the same thing this year, but yeah, we also have ideas of taking Kenyon Sadiq if he falls here, and stacking him with Geno later on. Again, same logic. If there's ever gonna be a week where Geno Smith is good, it's because Kenyon Sadiq was catching touchdowns from him. So yeah, I do have a lot of him. I'm not a big fan of that price on Chig, but I do like Chig as a player. Again, very simplistic offense. I do want to take players that I can stack at QB though. And we see Kenyon Sadiq fall down. If Chig is still on the board, I'm gonna be honest, I'm taking Brendan Strange. Yeah, I'm still taking Brendan Strange. Yeah, it knows that I'm not the biggest fan of that kind of pick, but I could always take Kenyon Sadiq in this case, but yeah. Again, as you can see, not a big fan of Debo. I get really mad at people who leave my team. We're gonna take Denzel Boston here, and yeah, we're gonna have to take Geno afterwards. Which I don't think we have any Geno, do we? We have 3.8% Geno. I don't mind investing some Geno here. Again, $2 drafts with a fuck ton of entries. I don't mind it. Going back to the draft extension here, I think this is an 8 receiver team if I'm not mistaken. This is an 8 receiver team, so yeah. Geno stacks out with Garrett Wilson, so again, same thing. If Garrett Wilson's gonna be good, means Geno has to throw the ball to him. Again, at this range, it actually doesn't mean that, because if you look at QBs here, you do see, where the fuck is he? Cade Klubnik. And the reason that that's an important name is he may end up starting a few games here and there because he was a solid prospect. Geno really isn't, and I do have the safety here with Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward, that they're going to be starters. So I'm pretty stoked there. We have actually no bye week conflicts anywhere, which is really beautiful. This just means that we're going to consistently pump out points, and I'm pretty happy with that. So far, projected points wise, we're not doing the best in this draft. The previous draft that we had, we did really well, but yeah. Gunnar Helm is looking to come back. I am honestly more interested in Geno, because again, we have the pass catcher for Cam Ward already in Carnell Tate. I think that there are actually a lot more offensive weapons on this Tennessee Titans team. Again, I'm never really that worried about tight end, and I'm sure that this will disagree. I think it's Jeremy Bernard. I actually do really like Jeremy Bernard, but we are going to take Geno in this case and find some exposures, but yeah. You are fucking joking. Yeah, okay, in this case then, yeah, we will take Gunnar Helm, but damn. I've gotten sniped so hard in these, and that's just pissing me off. Let's see what happens here, because Ayuk, again, he gets arrested. He's not going to be on any team. If the Commanders want to take a flyer on him, I really don't see how you do that. Could take Nick Singleton here. Jacoby Brissett is who they want me to take, but we're not gonna get Jacoby Brissett in this, which means that we may end up taking Deshaun Watson, which is so disgusting. Oh. So we made the mistake here of taking another running back. Honestly, I'm not too upset with that because we have the if team. If 9 or Kyler Murray are good. Garrett Wilson, he's a Jet. Carnell Tate, he's on the Titans. Brian Thomas Jr. Why am I doing the junior? I have no idea. Brian Thomas. He's an if. Cortland Sutton, if he can take over and stay in that backfield. Denzel Boston, not even the best receiver in Cleveland. The best receivers that we'll see in Cleveland are Casey Concepcion. So, who I actually have highly ranked, but again, I think that these are two rookie receivers, can go either way, but they invested significantly more draft capital in him. So, and it is the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson in 2026 or Shedeur Sanders starting. So, not the greatest situation to be invested in. I don't really like the wide receiver plays here, but let's go ahead and take our quarterback and our... Oh, man. So as the Jacoby Brissett contract thing plays out, we see him fall significantly in ADP. And I wonder if we can catch him later. And maybe take Adonai Mitchell here. See what we got going on. Chris Bell. I do like Chris Bell a lot. My Dawson Knox is really high. And that was because Kincaid was going through some injuries at one point. I will edit that, but... Oh, I really like Marshawn Lloyd, but I'm not going to be taking him in this one. Let's take Malachi Fields. And if Brissett is the best quarterback left, then I will take Brissett. Yeah, because I just want to flatten out some exposures here, and he's my lowest exposed to wide receiver here. Otherwise, I will take Deshaun. I don't own either of these quarterbacks. In my opinion, I don't think that Deshaun Watson is good enough to play, so I am debating if I even want to take either of these players. I do think that this is a crazy underrate because who else is going to play if it's not these two? Do they really think that? Where'd he go? Taylon Green is getting the reps here. I guess that is actually how they think it is. So, underdog is huge on Taylon Green. Wow. That is really interesting to me. I think you gotta rank Davis Mills a little higher here because CJ Stroud, if he continues to play bad, will probably not be starting anymore. But yeah, this is in week 7 and week 9 where we are desperate. But we stack out here pretty good. We get Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward, Deshaun Watson. Running back, we are pretty sick here. And that is because we get the Nick Singleton mistake on my bad. But Marion Hampton, Kyron Williams, Kenneth Gainwell, Jonathan Brooks. Again, nothing crazy. Wide receiver is a whole lot of mid. And what I am excited about on this team is the 7 receivers does mean that we will have good amount of exposure into every single different offense. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different offenses here. And, you know, this is an elite talent in Justin Jefferson. An elite talent, bad offense. Elite talent, mid offense. Elite talent, good offense. Just has some issues. Very solid talent and a really good offense. A very question mark talent and a really bad offense. And who may be a good catch here when we look at like the early weeks, because we don't know if Malik Neighbors is going to end up on the PUP list to start off the year. I don't hate that. At tight end, I actually feel really good here with the Kelsey, Brendan Strange, and Gunnar Helm. I do think that I'm hedging my Brian Thomas shares with Brendan Strange here, which is really nice, especially considering Trevor Lawrence is my number 1 quarterback. On a week where Trevor Lawrence may go absolutely nuclear, you may see both of these players play, where you have like a 40-point week from Trevor Lawrence, because he did enjoy throwing the ball to his guy Travis Etienne, but as far as Bashal Tootin goes, I'm not the biggest fan. Personally, Chris Rodriguez I think is a nothing, and he proved that in he was in Washington last year, so I am pretty much okay with that. You see, Cade Klubnik has jumped 26 ADP spots. Just means he's getting drafted. Taylon Green as well. I guess this means this might be a little bit off here. I think that's just positioning wise, their jumps, but I am excited if Cade Klubnik can actually be that guy. But yeah, this draft ends with Jordan James at the end of it. I am looking to get a little bit more invested in him, but obviously this is not the place. I do end up not taking these late round running backs a lot because, you know, don't get the opportunity to. James Conner is someone that people are looking into investing in, because you may see a massive deal between the Packers and the Cardinals when it comes to Josh Sweat. They may also just throw in James Conner and get some more draft capital. The issue is that Packers don't even have a lot of that. If we look at who the Packers actually have, Green Bay Packers draft picks. Is it like future draft picks is what I gotta look at? This might be it. Yeah, so they don't have their first rounder this year. They don't have a 4th rounder. So this 2nd and 3rd rounder is available for Josh Sweat and James Conner, but do you really give that up? Um, I don't think so. If I'm being honest, I don't give up that pick because that means you get a total of 4 picks, maybe 5, depending on compensatory picks and everything, but that's just not what you want to do with this team. So, yeah. I'm fucking tired. I was like hungover all day, but yeah, I'm like just seeing. Overall, we can take a look here. I think that Deshaun Watson really kills our projections, but so we do not project to be a top team in this one at all, actually. And that is a little scary. We actually project out as one of the worst teams in this draft. Second worst. Second worst. This is a disgusting team. If I'm being honest, I really don't like this team. But again, these are players that I haven't taken much of. We're willing to take these long shot bets in these kind of formats where, because there's only 5 teams drafted per person, you may see a little bit more of a safer picking, but at the end of the day, it's a $2 format. Not much to lose here, but yeah. I'm pretty much overall happy with how this turned out. We are now in June. Means we are 2 months away from the NFL season. Hopefully that means I can maybe hit 100 drafts this year. I don't know if that's realistic, but yeah. We will be taking 3 more drafts. Or we only have 2 more drafts. I will be seeing if I am going to be drafting those on stream. If I do not end up drafting on stream, I may try something else, but yeah, at this moment, we are looking pretty solid. Honestly, okay. I was just making sure the stream was going because I would have been mad pissed if it didn't go on at all. But yeah, it may be time that I look more into my investments here. And say, hey, my investments aren't that bad. Maybe just keep it. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't like this. I think I might go safe on one of my teams. I will show you guys this team that I just drafted. I thought this team was really good. Yeah. This is the team where I feel good about my first 2 quarterbacks, and my third quarterback is pretty solid. You can see it projects out for 2,900 points. Insane projections. You get Devon Achane, Travis Etienne, Ramondre Stevenson, 2 RB1s right here, and a RB1A. Jonah Coleman, who is really a RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins fade, but I don't really and Nick Singleton again, which fuck that guy. Again, CeeDee Lamb, Egbuka as a wide receiver 1 in this offense is going to be really interesting. Rome, stack in with Caleb, and Chris Godwin, Casey Concepcion, Isaac Tesla, and Malik Washington, with Dalton Kincaid, Chig Okonkwo, and Eli Stowers. What I do like about Isaac Tesla is that in games that the Lions are going to blow people out in, he's going to absolutely smash. So, yeah, I made the stream somehow 56 minutes long, so we're just going to call it here. Thanks y'all for watching. Peace.